The level of customization has gotten so wild these days, it can make any outsider wonder, how the hell do you drive that thing? Hey everyone, Kevin here, and thanks for watching this video in our bottom line series where we focus on everything about custom lower trucks. So I've been messing around with custom lower trucks for about 2 decades now, and I think it's time to talk about something that really bugs me. Now picture this, you're rolling along in your custom truck that you spent a lot of time on, a lot of hard-earned money on, and somebody just comes along and says, well, that truck is ruined. It's really annoying. And it didn't take long after I got into the truck community that I started to hear this, and in fact, I still hear it to this day. The funniest thing about all of this is that a lot of people think that because you have a drop truck, it has mods that ruin trucks. And that couldn't be any further from the truth, as lowering a truck actually comes with a lot of positive benefits, including lowering the center of gravity, which makes your truck perform and corner better. So if anything, lowering your truck comes with a lot of positive attributes. Oh, and let's not forget what trucks were actually designed for, hauling stuff in the bed. To be honest, I think it's easier to load things in the bed of a lower truck, as the action requires less energy to lift it up. Let's say you're loading in a dirt bike or an ATV or something like that. I bet you it's going to be a lot easier if the truck is closer to the surface of the ground than if it was stock height or lifted. Here's another thing to think about, people that are wheelchair bound. I have a friend named Mike Hurley who's in the situation, and he has a bag truck that he drives on a daily basis. And he told me that the sole purpose for bagging his truck was for accessibility. It's totally easier for him to roll up to his truck, load his wheelchair, and get in to drive because the truck is closer to the ground. On top of that, he said that it was easier for him to bag his truck than to purchase a vehicle that was purpose-built for somebody that's in his position. And I really like this perspective, and I also have always been a fan of his truck, so it's pretty cool hearing all of that. But I say that if you have a vehicle that does more and can turn heads, that's a win in my book, and just goes to prove that these different types of lowering are not useless truck mods. If you're enjoying this video so far, please do me a favor by hitting that like button. And if you have anything to say about what I've talked about so far, please feel free to drop that stuff in the comment section below. Also make sure to subscribe to this channel, as it helps us produce more videos in the future. Well, getting back to it, if you're convinced like me that lower trucks are better, then you would know that you could do everything best when you have the right equipment on your truck. And I speak from experience here, as I had a truck that I cheaped out on some of the parts, and I paid the consequences on it. You definitely get what you pay for, and I would suggest doing your homework to find the best quality parts for your vehicle to make sure you don't have problems with a custom truck. While hauling stuff in a lower truck, there can be issues with the rear portion of your vehicle, as this is where all the weight is usually being added. The big thing here is to notch your frame so that the suspension has plenty of room to travel up when you have that added weight. And I would suggest doing this even on a mild drop. You may think that you have plenty of travel on your vehicle if you drive it on a daily basis and it doesn't hit, but trust me, when you add any significant load, you'll regret it because you'll start to bottom out. So I would suggest notching your frame on any type of lowered suspension to make sure that you don't feel like you have a busted truck when you haul a load. Another thing I would recommend to add on a lower truck is a set of helper bags. There's plenty of systems out there that can be easily installed that will take the brunt of any load you can put in your truck, and will also ensure that it's not squatted when it's weighted down. And for those that have fully airbag trucks, they'll know that they can manually adjust their airbag setup to compensate for any load just as easily. Another piece of advice that I have is to make sure you have the right tires to get the job done. I have a set of 245/35 ZR20 Nitto NT555 G2 tires on this truck, as I know it will support this truck and any load that it may see. Getting back to our topic of people saying that lower trucks are useless, what really bugs me is that the people that say this are probably ones that don't think there's any negative effects of having a lifted truck. And it really reaches into the ongoing question of lifted versus lowered. Let's talk about bed space. I can admit that having an airbag truck means there could be less of this, as there's usually big notches to compensate for suspension travel. But I've seen lifted trucks that have so much suspension that pretty much the bed floor is gone, and you can't really use it to haul any loads. Now, another popular mod for lifted trucks is having exhaust stacks that are in the bed, and this too also means that there's less space there. Whether you think exhaust stacks are good or bad, they can make a truck less useful, as they can take some of that precious space away. Back to my argument that lower trucks are easier to load, I can tell you that it takes a lot more effort to lift something up to put it into the bed of a lifted truck. Some people might even actually use a forklift, but guess what? Not everybody has access to a piece of equipment like this, so it makes it a lot more harder to put things in a truck when you need tools like this in order to use it. A big point about lifted trucks is that they have plenty of clearance to get over problem objects. But with modern trucks these days, there's not a lot to be gained, as popular kits only drop the suspension down to fit bigger tires. Though this may help a little bit, without completely redesigning your suspension, you won't see a dramatic change in clearance. Some trucks are so big that you need a ladder to put anything in the bed or even reach the roof to clean it. In my opinion, if you need a ladder to haul things on a regular basis, then your truck's not good for daily use. Having to carry a ladder is an inconvenience and makes me believe even more that slam trucks have the advantage here. Let's talk about the so-called bro trucks that have huge wheels and rubber band like off-road tires. These trucks are better known as mall crawlers as they're so delicate they can't be used for off-road situations and end up cruising around in mall parking lots. I think they're just a status symbol that can't be used on a daily basis and only get used for shows. I actually like lifted trucks. The thing I disagree with is when off-road fans think that their trucks are superior. All these custom vehicles have advantages and disadvantages, and I don't think either overall are better than the other. I think there are other things besides suspension mods that will make it difficult to utilize a truck for hauling. Take it from me, having a truck that has a fully custom painted body will make you want to use it less. Though it doesn't have paint in the bed, I'm always weary of scratching it in the process of loading the bed. And this is where patina trucks have an advantage, as you really don't have to worry about damaging the body as much. Another mod I think will make it difficult to drive a truck on a daily basis is having a high horsepower motor. Having a truck with a thumping engine while you're crawling in traffic and it just wants to go is really annoying. And believe me, I've experienced this with my 62 GMC, as it has a 383 stroker Chevy small block engine. And I used to use it to commute on a daily basis. But that was just a miscalculation on my part, as I wanted a fast truck and didn't really have the right lifestyle for it. Also, at the time, my mini truck was having some issues, so my 62 was the only option I had. But I can't really complain. When you have a custom truck like that, it's fun to drive in any situation. The level of customization has gotten so wild these days, it can make any outsider wonder, how the hell do you drive that thing? When it comes down to it, just remember that all truck modifications boil down to personal choices. And also be willing to adjust for any quirks that come along with customizations. As I see it, if somebody has a different taste and style, it doesn't give us any reason to judge them. There's so much negativity in the world today that we don't need to create any more hostility over something that's just so meaningless. Well, that just about does it for this video, and before I sign off, I wanted to give everyone a little bit of a personal update on my Chevy S10 that's sitting behind me. If you watched my previous video about selling custom trucks, you would know that I was in the process of selling it to my buddy Jeff Baum, who lives in Texas. Well, the deal's pretty much done, and he's coming out tomorrow to drive the truck home. So a little bit of a sad day. This is the last day I have with the truck. It's probably also the last video that it will be in the background, but who knows? I go to Texas a lot, so we might be seeing it and might give you guys some updates, and maybe he's gonna do some stuff to it that we can update you on. But yeah, that's about it for now. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. Furthermore, if you have anything to say about the topic, please drop that stuff in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a future video, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.